Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, God's peace be with you.
You too. How can I help?
So, I need a talking to about fear.
Okay.
And so I am single. When I was married, my husband was an accountant, so he took care of everything. And I've been single for a long time, and I just never really learned about money. And so I'm on baby step 2, and I don't have the feeling yet of being in control of it. And I'm having a hard time, even though I've paid off some of my debt, I'm having a hard time letting go of the money.
So you have some money in savings above $1,000 that you should be throwing towards the debt, and you're having trouble doing that.
Well, yeah, it's not in savings. It just kind of hovers in my checking account.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just afraid to let go of it.
How much is in there?
Solid, but I'm sorry?
How much is in there?
Well, let's see, month to month, I would say there's probably an extra $500.
Dollars?
Which it's growing. It's growing, which is good.
And what's your household income?
About 50.
Okay. How long have you been divorced?
20 years.
Oh, okay.
Long time.
Long time ago. Okay. So
it's also hard for me to. I'm a teen person, so doing this alone, it's just intimidating. Money is intimidating to me.
I understand. Okay. Well, you know what? That makes you smart, actually, because if you don't know how to handle something that's powerful, it should be intimidating to you. The first time I got in a car, and I was like 12 years old, my dad threw me the keys, and we're out on the farm, and he's like, go for a drive with the pickup through the... It was intimidating as crud, right? First time you drove a car, it was intimidating, right?
Right.
But after years of practice, you've increased your expertise and confidence, and there's no longer any fear associated with it, agreed?
Yes.
So it's good fear, it's wise fear to be intimidated by something that you can't handle well, that's powerful. And so the trick is, that doesn't mean you never learn to drive a car. It just means it's a normal human reaction the first time or two you drive a car, that it's intimidating. Is that fair? Yeah. So what this means is it's time for you to learn to drive the car. That's all it means. And you don't have to learn it today, but you need to start learning it today. And would you expect to be more confident 5 months from now than today? You better. 5 years from now, a lot more. It ought to be second nature, just like driving a car is second nature. And so we get better at it so that the intimidation goes away. But when you're beginning a task with a powerful thing that you don't know how to handle, it's wisdom to be intimidated. Is that fair?
Yes, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah. And so this is something that's bothered you. You've always said things like, I'm not a math person. My husband's my ex-husband 20 freaking years ago is an accountant. Well, he's not even in that, didn't even come into the thing. But you've said stuff like that allowed you to kind of stay in this thing where I'm not going to address the issue. But now something's prompting you to address the issue. That's why you called me, and I think it's wonderful. It's a time of growth for you, Kelly. This is a wonderful time for you. You're going to get better at handling money, and the fear, as a result, is going to dissipate. Is that logical?
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to do it. I know you are.
It is.
And you mentioned God in your opening to me, and so if you're a person of faith, then we're called to manage. Steward is the old English Bible word everyone throws around, right? To be stewards, right? Is that right?
Yes, we are.
And so, I want to be found a trustworthy steward. I want to be worthy of trust. And that means I've got to get better at it. Oh, by the way, Dave Ramsey's better at it than he was 20 years ago, too. Dave Ramsey's better at it than he was 5 years ago. And meanwhile, I've been teaching everybody else, and I'm still getting better. So I know things today I didn't know 5 years ago about this particular subject and about other subjects, too. So that's what I would tell you to do. You're going to be great at it. Have you ever been through Financial Peace University?
No, I just recently heard about it. I have your Total Makeover book, but beyond that, I don't know a whole lot.
Why don't you go to this class? I'll pay for it.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
I'll give it to you.
The word peace is in it.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, and I want you to go to the class, because what that's going to do is it's going to put some people around you that are encouraging, that are also on the same journey. And it kind of normalizes the fear that we feel, sometimes the condemnation we feel around money. Sometimes some of us, I screwed up so bad I had a lot of shame about money. I'm very cynical about money people. And, all of those things are negative emotions that are usually due to a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. You hang on, and I'll have Kelly pick up, and we'll get you signed up for the class. It's 9 weeks long, one night a week for 9 weeks. It'll be one in your area, and we'd love to have you go as our guest.
We found our Traceba reason. Find yours.
Ask your healthcare provider about Traceba.
Natalie is in San Diego. Hi, Natalie. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello.
Hi. How can I help?
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So me and my husband have about $70,000 worth of debt, and that is our mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
We will be paying that off this year.
Yay!
And the only big expense we have is we do have a 1-year-old son, and we pay about $20,000 a year for his preschool.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, we're going to be completely debt-free, and we're talking about what to do next, because we'll own our condo, we will still have the baby, no car payments, no student loans.
Where to go?
So we're just trying to figure out what to do with the money. So one of the ideas that we've been throwing around is purchasing a property that we would eventually retire into, something near the ocean here in San Diego, and then
And then Kawhi's lasting taste going to the offseason is, I carried these guys this whole round. We couldn't get through this round. If I can do this here with my teammates playing like this, I can do this anywhere. And to me, that would have been more incentive for him to leave. Now, instead, it's not only this moment that we just saw, it's the moments he's about to get over the next 2 weeks. Kawhi Leonard has not played into the conference finals since 2014 when they won the title and he won finals MVP. He played game 1 of the conference finals a few years ago, but got hurt mid-third quarter when Zaza put his foot underneath him. So Kawhi is about to get to play in the biggest basketball games he's played in 5 years. Of course that's going to help Toronto. Of course it's going him being able to taste this level of playoff basketball that he has never tasted as a superstar. He was a good player in 2014. Yeah. He was far from the team's #1 option. I know he won finals MVP, but he did that while averaging in the teens in that series and in that season. Now he gets to play in the conference finals, the only game on every night, as the superstar on a team. He's never had that before, and of course that helps Toronto. This is the type of moment that could be a franchise changer for Toronto, not for this season, but for the next 5 to 8 seasons.
And no matter what happens, for some, I'm sure validates the move that Toronto made, basically renting this player, whether it stays or not. Time now for Put a Grade on It, sponsored by CarMax. All right, so Kawhi was incredible in last night's win over Philly. 41 points, 8 rebounds, and a game-winning buzzer beater. Nick, put a grade on Kawhi's night.
I'll be quick, this is easy. A+. 41 points, the game winner. The only guy on his team offensively to show up. Kawhi gets an A+.
You got to give him an A+. It was very difficult to score in these Game 7s. You look at the earlier game and Kawhi's game, only 3 guys scored more than 21 points. Let you know the level of defense and intensity. A+, as good as you can get. Head of the class, Nick, one of one. I mean, he was special. He was special.
All right, let's take a break. We'll talk about the team they beat coming up in a little bit, the 76ers. But on the other side, how are the Warriors able to take down the Rockets without Kevin Durant? That's next on FS1. You can always check us out on the Fox Sports channel. Sirius XM. We'll be right back.
The Coca-Cola 600, here we go. NASCAR comes home to show. And after 600 miles, this is every guy. The Coca-Cola 600, May 26th on Fox. Gene, why don't you start at the beginning?
Something's happened to me. Something I can't control. And it scares me. It feels good.
She'll kill us. The girl dies.
Are you threatening me? Because that would be a bad idea.
Direct Phoenix, PG-13, June 7th. Tickets on sale now.
This is the Durabit of the all-new Chevy Silverado.
That is huge.
It offers a built-in 120-volt outlet. Wow. Plug that in for me.
Oh, slow.
And the all-new Silverado has more trim levels than any other pickup.
Oh, wow.
There's something for all of us.
It's time to upgrade.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on this all-new Silverado, or get a total value of over $9,000 when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
There are those who see the challenges facing the nation and say, send me. They fight for country. They fight for honor. They fight to win. Do you have what it takes? Find out at goarmy.com/warriors.
Oh my, this Heinz mayonnaise is so creamy. One day you'll tell your grandkids about it. And they'll say, Grandpa, just tell us about Humpty Dumpty. And you'll say, he broke his pelvis or whatever. Now back to my creamy Heinz mayonnaise. Heinz mayonnaise, unforgettably creamy. Seems word sure spread far and wide.
Red Bull gives you wings.
New search joke. 3 smart devices walk into a bar.
A bar is a counter where beer is served. Beer. Michelob Ultra is a beer free of artificial colors or flavors.
Favors are friendly gestures like ordering a beer.
I will have one. No, your operating system is not old enough. Ha.
There's enough artificial in the world. Michelob Ultra. No artificial colors or flavors. Superior light beer.
That is a good one.
Astros versus Red Sox, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
You must hold your courage and your strength and fight for what you want.
Atlanta woman of conviction.
We are masters of our destiny now.
Add Stars with Sling TV for $9 per month. Visit sling.com/account or upgrade in the app under the My TV tab.
Hi. I'm about to have my hands full. I got a baby on the way.
How about a hands-free house? One command can lock your doors, adjust the temperature.
Oh, dim the...
Is sponsored by Gillette, the best a man can get.
Welcome back. We'll get to the Warriors in just a second, but first Nuggets and Blazers, and C.J. McCollum chases down Jamal Murray, blocks the shot off the backboard.
Oh, this one will be remembered for a long time. He had a shout out from his boy, the 303 LeBron from Akron. CJ's are not too far away, getting an iconic block against the backboard, Nick. This was when you said LeBron passed, what's your name, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. That game, that moment, when LeBron passed Jordan. That is true. CJ, man, 37 points, road game 7.
Woo! Raptors and Sixers, Kawhi getting by Tobias Harris somehow makes the crazy up and under layup.
Oh, he got fortunate on this one. Perfect defense by Philadelphia. Joel Embiid comes over to try to block it. He puts a little English on it off the backboard. It was that kind of night.
Yeah, he was guessing right there. Just throw it up, see what happens, bounce around. He was so sensational.
Let me give you more here. Moving on, Kawhi, watch this, the incredible fadeaway over Joel Embiid to send Toronto to the conference, hold it, finals. There it was.
I still, watching this for the 14th time, I still can't believe it went in.
Neither can they.
For it to hit the rim there and bounce up and just a touch forward. Because if it bounces straight up like that and a touch backwards, we're going to overtime.
Kawhi had a little hesitation right before to get Joel Embiid a little off guard, where he couldn't get the best bounce. He defended as well as he could.
God, that's a tough shot.
Amazing shot.
That's a tough shot under regular circumstances. The buzzer of the game 7.
Right in front of your bench. If they don't have that one printed up and have it in the Raptors' office this morning when the players walk in.
All right, moving on. The Golden State Warriors finished off the Rockets Friday night. No KD in Game 6, so no problem in Game 6. Steph Curry had 23 of his 33 points in the fourth quarter after an unprecedented scoreless first half. Klay Thompson chipped in 27 of his own as the Warriors eliminated the Rockets from the playoffs for the fourth time in 5 years. Nick, what message did the Warriors send by winning without KD?
All right, well, listen, the Rockets are never going to beat them. And we'll talk more about the Rockets another time, but the Rockets are going to have to wait for the Warriors to be done being the Warriors. They never punted, and they could never beat them. So set them aside for a moment. What they showed by showing up the way they did is they are the bleeping champs, and you are going to have to rip it from their cold, dead hands. No Boogie Cousins, who cares? No Kevin Durant, no problem. We still got Steph. Yeah, scoreless in the first half. Don't worry. Your Splash Brother Clay will have you covered. Draymond bringing it with ferocious intensity from the word go. And then the less heralded of the original championship core. How about Sean Livingston has his second double-digit scoring game of 2019.
After he did nothing, basically, this year.
Absolutely. Well, this season, Jenna.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, second time he's scored in double digits this calendar year. Iggy, what I say, if Iggy hits threes, you lose. You're the opposition. Iggy hits 5 of them. Andre Iguodala, who looked like he was on the back end of his career this season, 3 times all year, he scored 15-plus points. He's already done it 5 times these playoffs. This is a championship team with a championship coach that got stomach punched thinking Kevin Durant wasn't going to be out for the next couple weeks. When he walked off the court, they thought, I believe, in the moment, KD might be out. That might have been his last moment as a Warrior. And they rallied in Game 5, and then they stole Game 6. Get away with a Steph Curry scoreless first half. Scoreless first half from Steph Curry on the road in one of the biggest games this franchise in Houston has played in a quarter century. And you win. You take control. You're down 7 in the fourth quarter. No panic. You win. This was a spectacular game by the original Golden State Warriors.
I'm going to let you talk about the players, because I think that one thing that will be missed in all this, and he won't get credit, is the coach. Because once Kevin Durant gets hurt, after game number 5, and they played an amazing 14 minutes, because if you don't, let's go back to that 14 minutes in game number 5. If they don't get it together and win that game, this is not a closeout game. You still have to go to game 7. So what Steve Kerr did after he found out that KD, he didn't tear his Achilles, there was a sense of relief for that. He didn't think KD would be available anytime soon, but he told everyone in the locker room, come to the gym, ready to play tomorrow. And he went through, they activated Jacob Evans, put him in KD's spot. He's the only player in the first 24 minutes of that game who did not play. They had 11 players play over 3 minutes. Now, to me, people would be like, oh, well, what does that really mean? That made the players fresher in the second half. No one knows that Steph would go over. No. But those core group of guys, that being Iggy, that being Draymond, that being Clay, They were a lot fresher in the second half because of what Steve Kerr did, and I believe it happened right after game number 5 when he comes into that locker room being like, listen, man, we don't have anything to worry.
I don't think they got me waiting for you.
Everyone come ready to play. That's how we're going to win game number 6.
Say that again.
Because I knew the veteran players, that being Steph, Clay,
so how long you going to be?
They got a lot to prove.
Okay, let me see if I can do that.
To win a game without Kevin Durant, it sends a huge
so what do I do?
message
What I put in
to
there?
that original group that they had together.
What's
the
address?
This was a rare opportunity, and they took advantage of it.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Up until the fourth quarter of Game 5, this was a hit or miss Warriors team. Some nights they had good nights, some nights they didn't. They did what they needed to do to win, and then that fourth quarter came. There was no Kevin Durant, basically. They got together like you talked about. How important was it for them to show each other that they could do this? That they weren't just reliant on 40 from KD every night?
Well, I think the team, the people in that locker room, never doubted they could do it. All of those guys have sacrificed for the greater good, if you will, to win by bringing Kevin Durant, and not only sacrificing numbers and shots, sacrificing the style. There is a style that they play without Kevin Durant that is very difficult to play with him because you can play it to a degree with him, but he's such a singular talent that it is smart. Dump it down to KD and let him go to work. Oh, he's got 6-foot-tall Patrick Beverly on him. Dump it down to KD and let him go to work. And that's not what the Warriors have ever done. To me, this was a message to the 29 other teams in the league that have been waiting for 3 years for Kevin Durant to leave. The Warriors reminding them, Kevin Durant, even if he does leave, probably is leaving. Guess who should be the favorites going into next year? Us, even without him, because has always been the case with Golden State. I don't care how mad people get when I say it. I will continue to say it.